Freddy, huge admiration for Freddy. He was ahead of my career, and I joined him in 1986. Amazing talent, amazing ability. For me, he's like the god. And I'm now fortunate to be very, very good friends with him. And I still admire him now more than ever. Except now he's a bit easier to talk with, you know, and understand, and we've got time for each other too. So enormous respect for Freddy.
Okay, what about Eddie Lawson?
Eddie, he was my arch enemy in my peak of my career. Yamaha rider versus Honda, but I have an enormous amount of admiration for him and his ability and his calm and collected way of approaching it. And yes, we were enemies at one point. However, a couple of years ago we had a fantastic time here together, and now he's like a really good friend, and I really admire his ability and now his personality, and great guy.
Okay, what about Rainey?
Yeah, Wayne Rainey was always a good guy, you know, very down-to-earth person, very, very competitive. At some of the times in the later part of his career before his accident, wow, he was nearly unbeatable. Very determined, very driven, and still a great guy. So I've had lots of parties with him. Again, when we're not racing, we're all great mates, and lots of admiration and respect.
Okay, and Kevin Schwantz?
You know, it's the same thing. Kevin's enormously talented. I think that Suzuki wasn't quite as quick as the Honda in those days. However, Kevin made the difference. How he do things on that bike, I could not understand, and how he got away with it. But I think that just goes to show you how much talent he had. He had his days when he was strong, and I suppose when we all did. But you know, exceptionally good rider, very committed, never give up attitude, and yeah, I have enormous respect for him during his career and even now.
Another Aussie hero, Mick Doohan?
Mick, wow, you know, he came along when I was sort of on the downhill run, and he was my teammate, and I could see him growing very quickly during the years. Exceptionally talented, fast, and you know, he came at the right time as well with Honda when the bike was really good. So when we all left, Mick just carried on and had a big long streak of winning. So enormous talent, very much respect his ability, and he's a good guy. You know, we had our blows and we had our confrontations, but again, our swords are all down now. Now we're all good friends, so I like him a lot. He's a good guy.
Okay, and the last person is King Kenny.
Kenny, well, what can you say about Kenny except that he's loud. He's been around a long time. He's got lots of experience, and I love Kenny. I couldn't live with him, may I say. He's too much, but he's a lot of fun. Enormous amount of respect. He's one of my all-time heroes. You know, he's up there with Freddy and Kenny. They were just my heroes prior to my career, and still is. And you know, Kenny's been around a long time. He's got a lot of experience, but he's still a good guy, and he's never changed. And that's what I love about Kenny, is that he's just the same as he was, you know, 30 years ago as he is now. And he's just great. I got a lot of respect for him and listen to everything he says, and he loves a drink, and that's always fun. To pick out one that is best fitted, well, I spent a lot of time with Freddy because he's living in France, and I guess because I spend more time with him, we get on exceptionally well, you know. So, and like I'm friends with Kenny, I'm friends with them all, except that we're all living in different parts of the world. But just due to the fact that Freddy's not far away, probably Freddy's the easiest to be as a friend, and he's always around to have a chat, you know, and always honest too. And Freddy's always got the best stories to tell, and I love listening to his stories. They're quite amazing.
Okay. What about?
Well, I suppose it probably because Mick was in my team. Initially, the emotions were really good, but then some journalists turned him against me, and it wasn't very pleasant at that point. The rest, but I don't think it was Mick. I think it was more driven by the media. So it was probably at that time, probably would have been Mick Doohan, but not anymore, you know. And again, all of them, they're all good guys now, and we're all good. We've been to war together, and now we come back, and now we're like retired veterans. Now we can sit around and talk about it and think, and there's always good stories to tell. So I think there's just friendship and respect between all of the riders now, and that's the nice thing about it.